We head over now to Malawi, where Benson Jere, fund manager at NBM Capital Markets, is standing by to give us an update on the Malawian market. A very good morning to you, Benson. Now, looking at the devaluation of the Malawian kwacha, which happened last month, we have companies coming under pressure on the back of that. We had South African Airways saying it's lost about $5 million on the back of the devaluation of the kwacha. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I see. It's not just South African Airways. There are quite a few companies that have been hit hard because of the backlog in terms of remittance to creditors of foreign origin. And the devaluation has caught them unawares. And the devaluation happened on May 11th, 2012. And the dollar itself, which is the major trading currency against the local currency, was devalued at 49%. So it meant that if you had some money to pay out to foreign creditors, you are expecting to pay at 160, but with the devaluation, you have to pay it at a throat cut of 270-something kwacha. So the amount of the devaluation has hit hard most of the companies locally.
We also had the Reserve Bank floating the currency as well, really to respond to market forces of demand and supply on that front.
Yes, I think they have adopted a policy of flotation regime in terms of the local currency against the dollar and against the pound. And which means it implies that the financial authorities have got no control in terms of the level of trading the local currency vis-a-vis the major trading currencies. As a result of that, we reprice the kwacha against those trading currencies on a daily basis. And now, prior to the devaluation, there was too much liquidity in the system. But after the devaluation and the kwacha going up at a higher level, the whole liquidity now has been whipped out, and we are now finding it hard to find just one kwacha. To find 10 kwacha in the street is just very hard because all the money has been absorbed by those backlog of supplier payments. So there is really a tricky situation. With the flotation, we feel that it will go up until such a time that the donor inflows have started coming. Then the kwacha will have to settle with the donor support.
Well, the floating as well as the devaluation likely to have an impact on the local currency. Let's talk on liquidity levels that we are currently seeing on the market.
At the moment, the local currency to the dollar is about 276. This has come from about 166. So you could see the jump. And the pound was trading 272 prior to the devaluation. Now the pound is trading about 435, 436. So if you look at those gaps, and if you had a backlog of payment of even 1 million rand, now that 1 million rand where you would have paid for 20 kwacha per rand, now you are paying for 36 kwacha per rand. Now, if you look at that, that's why I think most of the companies are affected, and the system has been cleansed or has been whipped out of the kwacha supply in the system.
But let's look at some positive developments. The removal of capital gains tax on equity investments. A lot of companies must be happy about this.
Yes. I think it was one of the incentives for foreign investors as well as local investors. The capital gains was retrospective because when we invest in shares for two particular reasons, there will be capital gains and the dividend income. Now, if you could tax the capital gains, it was implying that you deny the person to get the full returns from the investment. Now, since it has been removed, and it's effective 1st of July, we have seen that in the last 3 weeks, there have been withholding of sales, people waiting for the capital gains to be effected before they could sell their shares so that they could get full potential or a full return from their investment. You will also add to that, there is a removal of turnover tax. Prior, when you start a small company, you normally for 2-3 years, you are in the red, you report losses. But the government, the regime then, they were taxing you still from the turnover of revenues. Now they have also removed that, which is also another incentive for small companies or for foreigners to start the company in Malawi. So all of those are the positives that have come with the new political regime.